Hi guys, it's Ms. Gilreath. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the Jamboard. That is what we're going to be working with in small groups for the next couple of days. Some of you all may have already played around with Jamboard, but it may be new to some of you all. But let me show you how to get to Jamboard. You have a couple of choices. You can either go to your Google Drive, click on the plus sign that says New, and go down to More, and it will show up. Okay, you would just click on the little icon that says Jamboard. Also, you can go to your 9 square. You can scroll down. It's down a little ways to where it says Jamboard. Click on this icon here and it will open up. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of walk through and show you a few things that will help you when you get started with Jamboard. So if you want to rename it, you can come up here and rename it. We'll just name it Gilreath. Push OK, and then your jam has a new name. So if you're doing more than one over a period of time, you can name your Jamboard. So make sure to do that. Okay, also up here on your screen, this has different boards. Okay, so I've created a couple different boards that we're going to be working with in small groups. Okay, and then just a blank board. So this just allows you to create different boards, kind of like your slides. Okay, up here, if you expand the frame, you can also see all of your boards that you've opened all at once. Okay, so you've got a couple of options there. So let's just move down here to the next row. You've got an undo and a redo button. You'll know just if you've done something you don't like, you can push undo and it will go back. Okay, also you've got a zoom. Okay, and let's actually jump up over here really quickly. If you want to share your Jamboard, okay, we'll talk about how to do that, but I do not want you to do that yet. You're going to click it. It's going to be just like your Google. So in your Google Drive, if you're sharing anything, you can type your friend's name and you can share. Okay. We're not going to be doing that today. All right, let's get over to the background. Now, background, you have a couple of different options. Plain, you can go to a black like a chalkboard, blue, graph paper, and that's what we're going to be looking at today, or squares, okay? So we like the squares one, okay? Either one you can work in, but today we're going to be looking at the background. So that will change the background. And if you've done something and you want to erase the whole Jamboard that you've done, you can push clear frame, and that will clear all of your writing off. Okay, it will keep your background, but clear all of your writing off. All right, so let's go ahead and look over here at some options. You have a pen that you can write on. If you double click your pen, you've got some different color choices. So if you want to write with your pen in red, you can do that. Okay, or blue, and so on and so forth. The next one is a marker. It's a little bit thicker. Okay, then you've got your highlighter. You were saying this is more like a thick pen than it is a highlighter. And then the paintbrush is probably a better highlighter if you were going to highlight something. So those are your options for your writing tools. Down here is an eraser. You click on the eraser, it will erase what you've done. Okay, this will just take you back to the beginning. Okay, that's your arrow. Now, to create a sticky note, if you click on the sticky note, you can type different things on the sticky note. You can also change your color up here. And then if you save it, okay, it will create a sticky note that you can move around. You can turn it, you can twist it, you can make it larger or smaller. Okay. But that is the sticky note form. Okay, if you wanted to add an image, we're not going to really talk too much about that, but you can search your Google, you can upload it from your Drive. Okay, so you do have the option to add a picture in there, but we're not going to be working with that today. Okay, this is what you need to pay attention to. All right, I'm going to go ahead and clear my frame so we can have a clear board to work with. Now, these are the different shapes. So if you double click, you're going to find some different shapes. We're going to be looking at the squares, okay? You need to make sure that you click on the square, double click, okay? And then you're going to move the little plus sign over here, and that is going to allow you to expand or make it larger or smaller, Okay, now once you've made your square, rectangle, or whatever shape you'd like to make, okay, you can also expand it out, or actually this is just the square. Okay, you can click in the middle and move it around. Now this is going to be important when we're doing our activity because you're going to need to be lined up exactly on the grid paper. Okay, so make sure you play around with expanding. Now here you can duplicate it if you want to make one exactly the same to move over. Okay, or you click on the little three dots, you can also delete it. Okay, you can also delete it. So let's go over here. Your other choices are squares, got a bar, okay? So if you wanted to do that, you could click over here, and then that could be your rectangle if you're doing your rectangle, okay? And then you're gonna be, what we're gonna be asking you to do is to line it up exactly, okay? So play around with that. And then when you click back, if you just click on a different shape, it will change, okay? Now here, you've got a text box. So if you wanna add text somewhere, you just write it and say your text, and then your text is entered in there, okay? So if you wanted to create a text box right here to explain about your shape or put the sides on, you could say 4 centimeters, okay? And then your text box would be done, and you can write that way, okay? Down here, this is more for me, but if you have a laser, then if I was to show something or you want to show somebody something, you can circle and say, let's look at this rectangle, and then it disappears. So that's what the laser is. Okay, so up here again, you can do your writing. So if I was going to write, okay, and this is what you may be asked to do. If I was going to write something over here, say for the length of the side, I can just use my pen and write 6 centimeters. Okay, that's probably easier. That's probably easier than doing the text box. Either way, okay. So then you've got your eraser. Okay, you've got your, that takes you back to regular. Here's your sticky note. You know about those. Okay, you can add your image, which we're not doing right now. You've got your different shapes. Double click. Remember to drag it over to make it work. You've got your text box and you've got your laser. Okay, so if you would like to now take some time and go ahead and play around with the options. Okay, remember for your background, what we're going to be working with, this says graph paper, but we actually like the background of the grid better. You also have the option of doing paper or blank. Okay, so again, you're going to be on the squares for your activity. So change your background to squares, practice drawing some different shapes, rectangles or squares, labeling the sides for perimeter, and you can practice with the sticky notes as well. Okay, so this is your job for Monday, is you're going to take some time and play around with Jamboard. Again, remember, we are not sharing our jams. Okay, they will be stored in your Google Drive, but we're not going to share them with anybody right now because when you share them, it stays in their drive, and we're going to work on that on Tuesday or Thursday. All right, so I hope you enjoyed the little info to Jamboard and play around a little bit and have a great time, and we will talk to you soon.